Transit, Suffolk Transit, and Williamsburg Area Transit Authority. I'd like to welcome you to the inaugural State of Transit Summit. Certainly what we have seen as a result, as Matt has mentioned, the impact of COVID, we've seen some commuter changes, and certainly in working with the TPO, we recognize that some people are working from home now 2 days. So that has certainly changed commuting patterns. So we believe smaller vehicles, the ability to react to a changing marketplace through demand response, I think will help feed the larger system, as well as having smaller vehicles that can be very efficient.
When I was moved here and then looking into WADA, and I got on the website and said, hey, okay, there's got to be an app, right? There's an app for everything. How do I, plan a trip? And it brought me to the transit app. Like, transit app, what's that? And then, oh, I already have the transit app. I downloaded that years ago when I was in New York City.
As just a big transportation network throughout the Hampton Roads area. And as he did say, we are going to be really trying to start to dig into what it looks like to create a regional fare structure. And that will allow you to go from Suffolk Transit all the way out to HRT and to WADA off of the same fare structure versus knowing like, okay, I just paid this fare and now when I get on my next bus, I gotta pay this fare. So find a way to make it feel more seamless and more connected for the people in Hampton Roads.
And so what we ended up doing in the end was hiring a transportation company to take folks to and from work who were not able to do so through their own vehicle. But that was not a scalable solution, right? The scalable solution that we were attempting to work with the county and the city on was reliable, efficient public transportation.
The other thing they need to do is they need to get workers who support the hospitality industry to the place of work. Public transportation provides that, especially the latter. We have a lot of workers in the hotel and restaurant industry in Virginia Beach and quite frankly live in Suffolk and Chesapeake. They don't have cars, they only have one way to get to work, and that's through public transportation.
I think the one thing I would say is that I think public transit has a stigma attached to it, that it's for people, and I think even in a lot of the answers we've given, it's really targeted at people who come from underserved communities, who come from lower income backgrounds, and it's certainly an important tool for those communities and a necessary one, but I think trying to look at how we break that stigma around class.
We may not rely on public transportation in this room, but we rely on somebody who relies on public transportation, whether that's a nurse at the hospital or that's somebody that interacts with you on a daily basis. So even though we may not rely on it, we rely on somebody who does.
Thank you so much for spending time with us today, and we look forward to continuing this conversation. Thank you.
As a commissioner with HRT, Hampton Roads Transit, this inaugural event is a way to generate conversations more than just the traditional, and by the traditional lines. The speakers and panelists, the questions from the audience opened up a whole new world.
Transit is the ease and availability of getting to and from work and to and from, your places on weekends. It just means making sure that those lanes are always open for us to do what we do on a daily basis.
Transit is a means for the workforce to get around day to day, getting back and forth to their major employment centers and to get around the region.
I am part of the LEAD class of 2024, and I've done a lot of learning about WADA and HRT, and I want to get more involved with public transit, so I'm interested to see what's going on.